Today we address the truth about Bo-Katan and the Dark Saber. But before we get to that, I want to issue a spoiler warning for the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. If you haven't watched it yet, check out one of my other videos. So that out of the way, one of the big questions that people have from the Mandalorian Season finale is why didn't Bo-Katan take the Dark Saber from Din Djarin? And when it comes to answering this question, I think I've come up with a couple key points that others covering the topic have missed. So in the Mandalorian Season 2, Din Djarin defeats Moff Gideon in single combat and takes the Dark Saber from him. He is then very willing to pass on that Dark Saber to Bo-Katan. But as Moff Gideon tells us, Bo-Katan can't simply accept the Dark Saber from Din Djarin. She must defeat him in single combat before she can claim it and rule Mandalore. And this is where the confusion comes in, because Bo-Katan actually accepted the Dark Saber from Sabine Wren in Star Wars Rebels. She absolutely did not defeat Sabine Wren in single combat to take the Dark Saber from her. It was a gift from Sabine to Bo-Katan that allowed her to unite the clans of Mandalore and fight against the Empire. But the actual truth is that Bo-Katan actually refused to take the Dark Saber the first time Sabine Wren offered it to her. She stated, "I had a chance to rule Mandalore and I failed. I am not my sister." And in fact, Bo-Katan goes on to support Sabine Wren in her claim to the Dark Saber, being very impressed with the leadership that this young woman is bringing to Mandalore. It isn't until Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren destroy the Duchess, a super weapon used against the Mandalorians by the Empire, that Bo-Katan reconsiders accepting the Dark Saber. And it's certainly under some unique circumstances. You see, many of the Mandalorian clans, while they come together and they swear their allegiance to Bo-Katan, encouraging her to take the Dark Saber from Sabine Wren. It's very much like a democratic process where they're voting Bo-Katan to be their leader, and the Dark Saber is simply going to be the symbol of that leadership. And although yes, this moment goes against tradition, in which the Dark Saber should be won in single combat, it certainly seems reasonable to accept the Dark Saber under these circumstances. Circumstances that are much different than we see in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, where Bo-Katan herself was setting out to defeat Moff Gideon in single combat and reclaim the Dark Saber in that way. And when Din Djarin is the one to defeat Moff Gideon in single combat, and then as I said earlier is more than willing to hand it over to Bo-Katan, well, those circumstances are completely different than the circumstances that we see in Star Wars Rebels. In Star Wars Rebels, she's basically voted into power or leadership by many supporting Mandalorian clans, whereas at the end of the Mandalorian Season 2, there's absolutely no reason for Bo-Katan to accept the Dark Saber from Din Djarin. He is the one, after all, that earned it from Moff Gideon. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see how they resolve this in the Mandalorian Season 3, but for now, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.